The parents of a 9-year-old girl say they didn't want her to develop physically into a young woman, and they have a very good reason, they say, for that. Ashley's severely damaged brain, a condition that developed shortly after her birth. Now, her parents say she can't walk, talk, sit up, or roll over. So 2 years ago, they approached doctors at Children's Hospital in Seattle. Remember, they're the ones who have to take care of her. And the parents told them, the doctors, that allowing her to develop breasts, have monthly cycles, and grow any taller than she is would only cause her serious discomfort and make it real difficult for her parents to be able to then take care of her. The ethics committee went ahead and agreed with the parents. Ashley had a hysterectomy, her breast buds were removed, and she began hormone treatments to literally stunt her growth.
In this case, being short is a benefit to the child. There's other parents who make decisions to make their children taller because that may be a benefit to the child. And so I think what all these cases have in common is an intention to help their child.
The first question, obviously, that comes to mind is something like this ethical? Should it be done? For some answers, in Seattle, bioethicist and Dr. Benjamin Wilford, who also saw that piece and reacted to it. And in Albany, in New York, Dr. Glenn McGee, bioethicist from Albany Medical College. Dr. McGee, let's begin with you. Is this something that you can look at and say it was necessary, it's okay to do it?
Well, I think first you have to walk a mile in the shoes of this family. They've done a lot for us in writing a 9,000-word blog entry, so we know a lot about what they thought, and I think anyone would have to feel compassion for the choices that they've made.
All right, give us the headline, if you would.
I don't know about the headline, but I can tell you that when the decision was made at 6 years of age that she should have a hysterectomy, that both her ovaries should be removed, that her breast buds should be removed, I think the family had started down dangerous slope, and it's a slope that does not bode well for lots of children with lots of conditions around the world.
So you think this could set a precedent and it's something that should not be done?
I think it absolutely sets a precedent, and unfortunately one of the things that's being trumpeted about this case is that an ethics committee agreed with it or even promoted the idea, which I think is probably an exaggeration, but you know, it's a question of balancing.
Let's go to Dr. Benjamin Wilford. He says, Dr. McGee says this is a territory that we should not be stepping into. You say what?
Well, I think it's very difficult for us to make judgments about a case that we're seeing from a distance. And in fact, the physicians and the ethics committee and the parents spent many months before making a decision. And I think it's very difficult to generalize from what they did to what other families ought to do.
Do you think that this is something that should be considered at any time for children in cases like this?
I think it depends on the circumstances. In this particular case, maximizing her adult height did not offer her any particular benefit, and there might have been particular advantages for her to be otherwise shorter than she might have been.
Dr. McGee, let me come back to you. Look, the parents are saying, if she gets too large, we won't be able to move her. We won't be able to carry her. We won't be able to give her the care that is necessary. It would be impossible for us to be able to take care of her in the manner in which we're taking care of her now. That's a big part of their reason. Can you understand that?
I can understand it. I can sympathize with it. It's just that I look around me and I see lots of people about whom the same sort of thing could be said. It's clear that there's a difference between maximizing height or giving growth hormone, as my friend talked about earlier in the tape segment that led up to this, and doing what's going on here. Here we're talking about not so much whether or not it's in the interest of Ashley to grow up, as whether or not in the long run what's being done is actually in her interest or just in the interest of the parents. And if what we're trying to do here is make it easier to care for people with disabilities, how far are we willing to go? I hope we're not willing to go this far.
That's a great point. Let's take it over to Dr. Wilford. Dr. Wilford, what about it? We're doing things here because it really would make it easier for the parents, and the parents seem to be loving parents that really want to take care of their child. But what about the child's needs? Even though she's not able to articulate them, should they somehow be taken into account?
Absolutely. And I think in this case, her needs and her parents' needs are completely convergent.
But how do we know that if we can't actually interview her or talk to her or find out what she wants?
Because her parents are able to pick her up and give her a hug, which will be a lot harder for them to do if she's much bigger. That strikes me as being an incredibly fundamental need that you don't even need to talk to a person to appreciate the value of that.
Tough call, boy, I'll tell you. Dr. Benjamin Wilford, Dr. Glenn McGee, we thank you both for this conversation and for the debate. We appreciate it.
You bet.
Monday, Paula Zahn brings us this most unusual medical controversy out in the open. Compassion or convenience? Paula's on now, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on CNN.